Hello everyone, welcome to another movie review. I just saw Jurassic World Rebirth. Before I get into this movie, really quick, I just want to say rest in peace to Michael Madsen, who passed away yesterday. And the news literally just broke right now. My friend texted me that Julian McMahon passed away. If you guys aren't familiar with him, he played Doctor Doom in the 2005 Fantastic Four, and then also in the sequel. He was also on that show Nip Tuck back in the day, and it's like, I don't know what's going on. It's like an everyday occurrence now, these actors just, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if there's a cause of death or anything. I just saw that he passed. Michael Madsen, I haven't heard a cause of death yet. Of course, Reservoir Dogs, one of my all-time favorite movies. One of my top 5, most watched movies. I've watched Reservoir Dogs countless times. My favorite Tarantino movie as well. And, he is pretty much the best character in that movie, Mr. Blonde, so it's crazy, of course, he was in Kill Bill and Thelma and Louise, and, it's just one of those deaths. It's like, what? You see it, and you're just kind of like, you would never think in a million years, this guy, there's no way, he still had a lot to give. So I don't know what happened, but rest in peace to both of them, it's just very sad, so very unfortunate. So, Jurassic Park Rebirth, Jurassic World Rebirth, I'm kind of getting the names confused here, is the 7th Jurassic movie. Now, this movie did come out a while ago, technically, because it was the mystery movie thing that AMC likes to do. I know other theaters do it too, where it's like a mystery screening, but they have to tell you what it's rated, obviously, before you go into it. So people are able to, figure out what the movie might be. So a lot of people were anticipating it to be Jurassic World, and they were correct. So a lot of people got to see this over a week ago, I think. I was not in a rush to see this movie by any means, so I just waited till Friday night, Happy 4th of July, by the way. I'm sure it's July 5th by the time this video's up. Actually, it's 11:59 right now as I'm filming this. Went to kind of a late showing, so... but yeah, like I said, was not in a rush to see this. Before I get into the meat and potatoes of this movie, let me just give you a brief rundown of how I feel about the Jurassic series. You guys are my regular viewers, I just talk endlessly. I ramble incoherently a lot, so... there's going to be lots of comments saying skip to whatever for the review. Fuck off. You guys know what you sign up for when you watch my videos, okay? I talk a lot. So, yeah, if you want to skip ahead and leave a comment like that, feel free to. This is just the style of review I do. I don't do heavily scripted sit-downs, and I just film in the car after the movie. So, when I see those comments, it doesn't, really bug me, but it's kind of okay, you're just being a dick, because the way, you could tell by the way they leave the comment, what they say, their wording, Anyways, so Jurassic. So, the original Jurassic Park is interesting to me, because I've never truly, loved that movie. I do consider it a classic. I do consider it iconic. It is on my all-time favorite movie list on my Letterboxd, if you haven't looked at that. And I looked at, what place it was at, because I know it's not super high. It's, number 90. It's, my 90th favorite movie. So, that's how I feel about the movie. I'll give it its flowers, but I've never, loved it. I've watched it many times, but something about the first Jurassic Park just never, really clicked with me, There are certain things in it I love, though. I love Jeff Goldblum. He's, my favorite thing in the whole franchise. Dr. Ian Malcolm, I love him. I love Mr. DNA, as you can see here. I love the T-Rex action, obviously. There's certain things in that first movie. Wayne Knight's character, Samuel L. Jackson's character, that I love certain things about the movie, but I don't love the movie. I just love certain things in it. Then we move on to The Lost World, the second movie. I've only watched that movie maybe twice in my whole life, and I haven't watched it in a long time. So I couldn't really, I just remember being okay. Jurassic Park 3, sort of the same thing. I've only watched it twice. I can't help but think about the talking dinosaur scene. Everyone's always Gotta remember Jurassic Park 3 for the talking dinosaur. Alan. Um, yeah. Jurassic Park 3, okay movie. Whatever. Forgettable. Um, Aside from that one dinosaur, the Spinosaurus or whatever it's called, that thing's awesome. Um, then many years later, we got the first Jurassic World, which is easily my second favorite in the series. The more times I watched that movie, though, the less I liked it. It started off strong, but it kind of just turns generic at one point, and the whole storyline with the kids at the park and their parents getting a divorce, it's kind of like a downer. I don't know. I enjoyed that movie the first time I watched it, but like I said, each viewing it just kind of lessened for me. And then Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, which again I've only watched once or twice. Didn't love that one. The ending was cool because it literally became Jurassic World at that point. The dinosaurs were unleashed to the world. But that movie had its issues. And then Jurassic World Dominion, which I've only watched once now. I haven't gone back to watch it in 3 years or whatever it's been since it came out. Was just super bland. Nothing special, just super bland movie. Totally meh, So, my thoughts on this franchise are okay, I'm not a huge fan of this. It's just, the movies, there's one great movie, there's one good movie, and then you got, four, bland movies. Okay to bland, Now, with this one, I was not excited because it's okay, you just ended the last trilogy 3 years ago, and you're already doing another one. I remember when they announced this, I'm why are we getting another Jurassic movie this soon? Because, between the trilogies, we had over a 10-year gap, and now we're getting another one. It's okay. But then I saw that Gareth Edwards was directing, and, Gareth Edwards did Rogue One, which, was awesome. He did The Creator a couple years ago, which is very underrated, by the way. I really wish that movie did better, at the box office. And he also did the 2014 Godzilla. So I'm a big fan of this guy. I'll see any movie he makes. And I actually thought about it. I saw all those movies in theaters when they came out. So, I'm a huge fan of this guy. I've seen all his movies in theaters. So that's what got me hooked onto this one. I'm okay, Gareth Edwards, you can't go wrong. All his movies I've enjoyed. And I saw the trailer for this, and I was afraid, okay, it's going to be generic. It's going to be stock characters, but at least it's got a good director. And you got mutated dinosaurs in there. They can only do so many different things with each movie. I get it. So tonight, going into this movie, I was a little worried because a lot of these early reviews were very negative. I didn't watch any video reviews yet, but what I've been seeing online, on social media, a lot of people are not liking this movie. They're saying it's trash, it sucks, it's whatever, it's terrible. I'm here to report that the third act of this movie saves it, okay? For most of the movie, I was thinking D+. And the third act save it. I'm going to give it a C-. Yeah. So, the positives. Gareth Edwards, of course, always has great cinematography in his movies. There are some shots in here that are very nice. They look like paintings almost, And if you watch The Creator, which I said underrated movie, that's got his best camera work. It really does. Rogue One, of course, and Godzilla, they all have great camera work. But The Creator is in a fantastic camera work. So there are shots in this one that look nice. Not all shots, but there are. Scarlett Johansson is the lead, and then you also have Mahershala Ali, who can do no wrong. This guy's a 2-time Oscar winner. He's great in everything. They both give very good performances. At the start of the movie, Scarlett Johansson, I could tell, it's okay, I feel like she's just here for a paycheck. But as the movie went along, I sort of felt like her character got a little better, And that's sort of how I felt about the whole movie. As it went along, it got a little better for me. The third act, like I said, is the best part of the movie. So, basic premise of the movie, you have Scarlett Johansson is hired by this guy to collect samples of blood from an island that contains mutated dinosaurs. So this island, 17 years prior to this movie, was a research facility. And they tested on dinosaurs and ended up mutating some of them and whatnot. And this is not a spoiler, but the funny thing about it is the whole movie is the result of a candy bar. Sort of like Friday the 13th Part 5. If you know, you know. The whole movie is a candy bar's fault. I'll just say that. So yeah, that's pretty funny. Basically, this island is abandoned now. There's an old factory, I guess, there, or research facility, whatever. It's abandoned. There's dinosaurs roaming on it. Because at this point in the Jurassic universe, the dinosaurs are slowly starting to die off and just live near the equator. So basically, Scarlett Johansson is a special ops person who gets hired to go to the island with a team, with Mahershala Ali, to collect samples of blood that can help cure like heart disease and stuff like that. And it could lead to like billions of dollars and tons of lives being saved and whatnot. And they also come across a family that is stranded in the water, and they sort of take them in and they join the group and stuff. Now the family, I didn't love a lot of that stuff. I feel like some of the acting wasn't the greatest from them. But they do serve their purpose in the story. So, but other than that, like, again, some of the acting was a little hokey, and then, I didn't love the first and second acts. The action was good, there were some good sequences. But again, for the most part, this is like a very bland movie. Like, it's just very stock and generic. And there's one big pet peeve I have in movies. It's like when there's something so unrealistic that happens and the movie doesn't even attempt to like explain it. This is not a spoiler, but basically a character uses a vehicle on this island, and it's like one of those Jurassic Park like Jeep vehicles, I guess. It's essentially a car. From what I understand, this island's been abandoned for 17 years, and the tire pressure's fine, the battery's fine, the oil in the engine's fine, the gasoline's fine. Like, it makes no sense, but the car runs full speed, works perfectly. Make it make sense. Unless I missed something in the movie. From what I understand, the island has been abandoned for 17 years. So, yeah, make that make sense to me. But yeah, like I said, nothing really special about this one. You could totally, skip it if you want. But it is Jurassic, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to see it. As far as like a ranking with the other movies, this would definitely fall into that category of bland. I'll put a ranking on my Letterboxd account. Like I said, I don't have one on there just because I don't really revisit these movies a lot. Like the first one, I'll watch here and there, but other than that, like, I don't really revisit any of these movies. So I've always had a strange relationship with this series. I love what it's done for pop culture. Like, I love, like, at Universal Studios in Florida here. Like, we have some great rides because of Jurassic Park. The Velocicoaster, the River Adventure ride, Yeah, I love, again, the Jeff Goldblum. It pretty much, is his most famous movie. I love what it's done for him, and his character in that movie. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's a weird thing for me. I'm a fan, but I'm not a fan. Like, I don't know how to explain it. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one, like I said, like a C-. I want to be nice and say C+ because it's Gareth Edwards, but I'm gonna give it a C-. Like, it wasn't anything like special. So like 5 out of 10. So let me know in the comments how you'd rank all 7 movies. And what you would rate each one, too, if you want. Yeah, so. But again, rest in peace, Michael Madsen and Julian McMahon. Just very sad. So, but next week I will be checking out Superman, of course. Excited for that one. And then, yeah, that's next week. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Sorry if this review was very long. I know I rambled a lot, but, that's what I do. So, I don't know if you can hear the fireworks still going. So, yeah, happy 4th of July, 5th of July, whatever. And, yeah, all right, guys, have a good one. Bye-bye.